alluded to poor internet connectivity as the traveled more than twice.
There's no specific run rate for us to say that.
Its organization, Child Online Africa, is asking for an enhanced child protection. Online Africa, Awo Idam Ameya joins us via
use of children on TikTok where their data is being sexual exploitation and abuse. And clearly, when it comes to our region or our continent, very little is being done at the governmental level and even at the law enforcement level to ensure that these young people have what it takes or are being given their due when it comes to the digital space. So clearly, those are few of the incidences, and I know some of them have gone unreported, and some have been reported and will be seen with the Cybersecurity Authority. But clearly, very little is being done as far as children are concerned. It's not enough for us to put out information out there and say that, okay, this is the safety situation, but we need to also make sure that the people who are taking care of the children or who are supervising the children have what it takes in order for them to take the necessary steps. And we also have to make reporting very, very easy and convenient for both the caregivers, the children themselves, in order for them to be able to report incidences for the right action to be taken.
Now, you're calling for an enhanced coordinated mechanism at protecting children using the internet. What options are there?
We have a legal option which has to do with going beyond the Cybersecurity Act as we have it to the granular forms of frame, which will speak directly to the peculiar situation of children and young people, other than having the bigger Cybersecurity Act talking about high-level things when there are lower-level situations that children go to. So I would prefer that we get to these young people and ask them, interact with them, get to know how and what form they would want their report to be taken. Even if it means taking it in a local language, we should be able to make such provision for these young people. There is also the need for us to enhance our media and digital literacy at the school level. Most of these young people, yes, they are learning ICT, but very little are they learning when it comes to responsible digital use. So that is something we need to look at. We also need to take into consideration parents. Some of us parents are finding it very difficult to engage online, but then our children are out there. We don't even know what platforms they are engaging with. It's important we know what platform our children are engaging with and how do we make it very easy for parents to be able to provide the support that is needed in that regard. It's something stakeholders need to sit down and work on. Industry has a lot to do with this. The mobile network providers that boundaries. Do we have an anti-bullying policy at school level? At the community level, at the school level, and even at the church. Granular form of it, because if the policy options that he or she will be dealing with. So that is one very, very important thing I would be expecting from government. But then quite apart from government, there are a lot of stakeholders involved when it comes to protecting of children and young people in the digital space. And all those stakeholders should be made aware of their responsibilities. And they being responsible for young people in the space will also depend on what legal instrument there are in the country for them to be called to do what they have to do. So clearly, yes, it's a concerted effort from everybody, but as much as possible, I don't think we are doing much when it comes to the protection of children.
Right, thank you so much, Executive Director for Child Online Africa, Awo Aidam Ameo. Let's stay a bit longer on cybersecurity issues, as players in the e-commerce space have called on government to invest in cybersecurity to ensure a vibrant e-commerce sector. They say building resilient cyber-secured systems and effective collaboration with stakeholders will be critical in actualizing the needed growth. Here's a report from the second National E-commerce Forum and Exhibition organized by GIZ.
The second edition of the National E-commerce Forum and Exhibition is a GIZ initiative which seeks to assemble players in the e-commerce sector to deliberate and brainstorm on the growth of the sector. The e-commerce sector in Ghana has witnessed continuous growth over the last few years. As of 2022, the penetration rate of the market stood at 27.4%. Analysts say the rate could increase to about 37% in 2027. Speaking at the forum, the head of technical at the National Information Technology Agency, NITA, Solomon Richardson, called for improved regulation to reduce online fraud.
One of the ways that we are trying to also prevent that on a platform like that, nobody should just go and then just sign up like 1, 2, 3 at that. When you want to sign up, you sign up with your national ID. So it's one of the regulations that we are now trying to come up with, that you as a provider will not allow anybody to sign up on your platform without a national ID or the approved identification system. Then what will happen is that you are now able to track some of these activities. Anybody who is signing up onto your platform, you have to sign up with your national ID, and then for those without a national ID, probably a passport, which can easily be verified, and then you have the details tied to certain numbers, and so when something goes wrong, you're able to do a proper auditing.
The president of the Ghana FinTech and Payments Association, Martin Awaga, spoke against the introduction of taxes on e-commerce transactions.
that is now trying to emerge or providing opportunities for every other spectrum of the economic ladder.
Cybersecurity lead at E-Crime Bureau called for cybersecurity and data protection education on the part of e-commerce operators to reduce the risk of fraud and safeguard data of users.
People who are in this space put together or put measures in place to avoid these fraud from happening. But it will happen eventually, and when it does happen, we need to investigate to find out how it did happen. How are they setting up these Instagram, accounts that look like a legitimate brand and they are using it to defraud people? How are they impersonating Mr. Super App over here, who is legitimately has a business, right, that is providing a service, and someone is pretending to be him, right, and taking proceeds and damaging his brand in the process. So it has to be investigated.
The second edition of the National E-Commerce Forum and Exhibition was held on the theme Catalyzing Collaboration for a Responsive E-Commerce.
Moving on, President Akufo-Addo has touted government's achievement in STEM education. He says there has been a 15% increase in general science students in senior high schools. President Akufo-Addo is optimistic the percentage will further increase next academic year. He's been speaking at the Presbyterian Senior High School's 85th anniversary celebration in Accra.
It is not gold that is going to build Ghana. If it was, it would have done so already. It is not cocoa that is going to build Ghana. If it was, it would have done so already. It is not oil that is going to build Ghana. It is the people of Ghana, Ghanaians like you and I, and especially the youth of today, who are going to build Ghana. With PRESEC known to be a science school, I'm sure you appreciate the fact that government, in order to attain our objective of building an industrialized nation, is increasing its emphasis on science and technology education and technical and vocational training. We intend to put science, technology, education, and mathematics, STEM, education, in its central, relevant place. Training students with 21st century skills is essential in preparing our future workforce for the fourth industrial revolution through STEM education. Even though the manifesto of the New Patriotic Party, the party from which my government was born, prioritized the study of STEM in its 2016 and 2020 manifestos, it was the reimagination of education in the advent of COVID-19 and the need to prepare the youth for jobs of the future that reinforced the need to increase the percentage of students undertaking general science in senior high schools. Indeed, the percentage of general science students in our schools has been some 12% for some time. The percentage of science students this year has risen to some 15%, and it is expected to increase even further to some 24% in 2024.
Now, the Ghana School of Law says it will admit all applicants who pass the entrance exam. Director Nana Yao Opon-Kodie believes the school has the capacity to accommodate all eligible applicants, dismissing the concerns that the school caps its admission due to lack of facilities. He's been speaking at a graduation ceremony of about 30 alternative dispute resolution practitioners at the Ghana Law School in Accra.
In the first place, there's no policy established by the Ghana School of Law or the authorities which prohibit certain persons from entering the Ghana School of Law. Accommodation or facilities have never been the reason why maybe what you are calling the limited number passing. I can tell you for a fact that even members of council who are I would say owners of the school, their own children also don't get access. It's purely based on merit. It's based on you performing at the entrance exam. Just last month, or in August, close to 3,000 people, yes, that was September, close to 3,000 people wrote the exam. I can assure you, if all of them pass, we'll find a place for them. The point is, if somebody doesn't pass, it's not because there is any policy that has put a cap on the number we should admit. No, because if there was any such policy, I wouldn't have been here in the first, because nobody knows me and nobody knew my parents. It's purely based on merit, and we need to understand that. I mean, recently some teachers wrote exam. Just about 10% pass, but nobody spoke.
Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie bundles let you create your own delicious combo. Choose from a sausage biscuit, egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, and a medium hot coffee. But it's obvious which combo's the best. Sausage biscuit and small seasoned potatoes. Well, maybe it's the fresh cracked egg and cheese biscuit with a medium hot coffee. Or 2 savory sausage biscuits. Whichever you pick, you can't go wrong. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new 2 for $3 Biggie bundles.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
About it. Here, we are prepared and ready to receive all the 3,000, close to 3,000 students. As I said, we are even going international. And it's not true that the Ghana School of Law has no space. Apart from Makola here, we take close to 800 students. We have UPSA. Last year, UPSA took about 80% of the students who passed the entrance exams and were admitted. And they should pass, not because and it's my hope that all of them who apply themselves in prohibiting certain persons from entering the school. I can tell you, in conclusion, but I can tell you, there are the children, rich and powerful people's children, who didn't have access to the school because they didn't perform. You think that the person who is a member of council will hate his child, prevent him from coming to school? No. The point is, nobody has any say in how a person enters the law school, apart from the person himself and how he performs. This year, I can tell you that we are ready for the close to 3,000 who wrote the exam, who will pass and enter the school. So there's no problem at all with infrastructure, even though we need more and we are taking steps to expand. But what we have now, I can tell you, will not put anybody out of the school if the person has passed.
Now, former presidential candidate of the Progressive People's Party, Bridget Jogbenuku, is asking women to stand up and be counted in Ghana's political arena. Speaking at the 20th anniversary of Women's Trust, a non-governmental organization committed to providing quality education, both formal and informal, to women and children in the country, she asked government to address matters of gender disparity, particularly in politics.
Women's Trust is an impact-driven organization committed to developing communities through education of women and children, informally and formally. In her presentation at the 20th anniversary of the organization, former presidential candidate of the Progressive People's Party, Bridget Jogbenuku, reiterated the need to empower women to aspire to occupy key positions in the country.
In 2005, the Agenda for Sustainable Development, the 2030 Agenda, was adopted by the UN following the MDGs. Today, halfway through the journey, the target is 2030. The SDG 5, which is to achieve gender equality and empower women and girls, has only made, and I found out yesterday, 17% progress towards the target in 2030. According to UN Women's most recent report, it will take 286 years for the world to achieve gender equality at this rate. How then can we continue to ignore more than half of our population, more than half of our human resource, and not empower them to contribute to the development of our communities and countries? Let us step up to the plate and influence the spaces in decision-making.
She further called for proactivity among the youth in ensuring that the right things are done in the society.
True, we need to improve on so many things. Education, we need to provide jobs, but I always quote this, say the Trotro's mate said, you can't always expect change. Sometimes you should also bring change. So you, the youth, knowing this, must also be up and doing your part to contribute to your own empowerment. I mean, there are a few things being done by organizations like Women's Trust to empower women here, but you must also do your part. We can't sit back and always wait for someone to come and do for us. But indeed, the authorities and government has to put in measures to make it comfortable for the youth to go out there. If you are not getting a job, I like to quote from the Bible. When Moses was in despair, when he was being sent out to go and get the Israelites out of Egypt, he said, I have nothing, I can't speak, I can't do this, I can't do that. But God asked him, what have you got in your hand? That is all you need. You have one thing, and everybody has something in their hand.
Some beneficiaries of the empowerment program spoke to Joy News.
They are very beneficial. If not, all of the girls assembled here won't be here or won't have gotten to where they are now. Some would have been out of school, pregnant, some in the village working, or be abused.
If it hadn't been for this program, a lot of girls would have just been roaming about aimless with basically nothing to do. Just as one of the directors said, we have to learn and then return. Now I think it's the stage of returning, and then the little that we have or can contribute, not financially, but then anyway, we can also mentor other young ladies coming up so that they would also grow to become prominent people in society.
The woman will come to learn adult, she will come to adult education. She will learn the bees making and teach them. So when you finish the adult education, she go and do the work. She do the own work. If you learn something and go and do it for your community.
Now, Now, residents of Edidiso in Suhum municipality of the Eastern region are asking for help to complete a classroom block for the community's junior high school. Head teacher of the school says the nature of the classroom block is hampering effective academic work. Here's more in this report.
Edidiso, a community near Nankase in the Suhum municipality of the Eastern region, has a population of about is causing severe problems for the students.
We want
Samuel Omani Buampong pointed out that a classroom
no windows, no doors. When it rains, it comes. So we have no other option than to leave school before rain catches us. So we are appealing to philanthropists, government, if they can come and put it in proper completion for us, we'll be very happy.
The road leading to Edidiso community is in a deplorable state, making it inaccessible for cars. As a result, the only means of transport to the community is by motorbike.
If you were sick, you have to take the motor. Car is not coming here because of the road. So when one of us get pregnant, it's the same as the motor that we take. It gives us more problems because of that, and we are not giving birth. So I will not give birth and go and sit on the motor and get problem.
This poor infrastructure has discouraged some teachers from accepting postings to the community, which further exacerbates the education-related challenges.
When the old head teacher went on transfer, a new head came. Looking at the surroundings and the area, she didn't come. She refused the posting.
Some members of the community expressed their dissatisfaction with the government actions and called for the urgent repair of the bad road network leading to Edidiso. They emphasized that if the roads are not fixed before 2024, they are prepared to take action, potentially preventing political activities in their community.
I voted from Akufo-Addo 2012. I've not seen anything here. They came here promising us, giving us, but when they gone, we don't even hear from them. So if I don't have the road, no votes.
We are fed up with this road, and even to passengers who are here. So because of that, they can't even send their things to market. Always things spoil. So life is very, very difficult for here. And this year too is election year. If they don't come and make the road for us, no one should step here for vote.
Prince Kwame Kudige's report read to you.
Now, Member of Parliament for Achumakwauma, Kofi Amankwame, is collaborating with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints to construct a 26-unit classroom block and 10-seater toilet facility for some selected underprivileged schools. Here's more in this report.
Some underprivileged beneficiary schools include Kochi, Echumakokobeng, and 4 CDA primary schools in the Echumakwauma district. Lack of infrastructure means congested classrooms, impacting teaching and learning negatively.
No, Kokobeng has a lot of students in the school, but we lack facilities, more especially classrooms, library, computer lab, and then toilet facilities. Because of lack of facilities, some students attend school at other places. But this time around, when the facilities handed over to us, they will be able to accommodate all of them.
To solve this problem, the MP for the area, who doubles as Deputy Minister of Defense, Kofi Amankwa Menu, and the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints have teamed up to build some classroom blocks and a toilet facility for affected schools. District Director of Education for Jumakwaoma, Joyce Ofori, told a sword-cutting ceremony the projects are in response to an appeal from her directorate.
They were sitting in a dual desk, 3 or 4 people in a classroom. They were very full, whereby the teacher cannot get a place to stand to teach. So we wrote to the MP to help the districts. And with the help of the Latter-day Saints, they came to inspect the district and the schools there. And they found out that what I said is true. So they came to they came for us to write. And we went around to inspect the project. And they realized that we actually need the classroom.
Member of Parliament for the area, Kofi Amankwa Menu, says concerted efforts will be made to ameliorate classroom infrastructure deficits.
For me, Jumakwaoma has a lot of problems, and one person cannot do it all alone. And so it became necessary for me to approach the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints with, the problems we have. And when I sat down with them, they listened to me and did a follow-up to the district or the constituency. This is not the first time they are doing this for us. They've already done a couple of projects in this district, but what they have done today, it's mind-boggling. When I approached them, one would have thought that a church member will be the one to benefit from all this. I am not a church member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I'm a Methodist, but I approached them, they listened to me, and look at the wonders they are doing for Jumakwaoma. I am so grateful. Already we have some toilet facilities constructed already. We are yet to commission them.
The project is expected to be completed in 6 months. Clinton Yeboah's reports for Joy News.
Now, a prominent player in international education services, IDP Education, has introduced a new brand identity for its offices in Accra and Kumasi, following its merger with Intake Education. The strategic union will empower the organization to better assist aspiring Ghanaian students in achieving the aspiration of studying abroad. Here's more.
In November 2022, IDP Education successfully acquired Intake Education, a student placement business operating in Ghana. This measure opens up a world of opportunities for Ghanaian students aspiring to pursue their higher education goals abroad. Speaking at an event to celebrate the acquisition, IDP's regional director, Imad Chow, indicated that the partnership makes the organization well positioned to offer a more comprehensive and tailored support system to prospective Ghanaian students.
Intake is has strong presence in Africa, and they're already present in Nigeria, in Ghana, and Kenya. And they are already the leading company for the UK, for studying abroad in the UK. So getting together what has been the impact is really benefiting from the strong foothold and footprint in Africa for IDP to go and to approach the market much faster. So IDP is also bringing a very strong strengths in terms of client portfolio, in terms of IELTS testing. So the impact today is bringing the two teams together, the two strengths of each company, to better support the students in their journey, not only in the UK, for other destinations, for other English-speaking destinations like Canada and Australia, to name a few, but also providing the IELTS testing, which is basically a kind of passport, which is an enabler for students to integrate and go to university or to professional to go and work abroad or to migrate abroad.
IDP Area Director Buki Awopisayo highlighted that the partnership would expand the horizons of students, offering them a broader spectrum of institutions to select from.
And looking for where Intake was before, we had more UK portfolio. Now with the integration with IDP, we have expanded portfolio across the 6 study destinations that we have. So students would have more options when it comes to which institution to choose from, which destination to go to, and which one matches their circumstance the most. as well as our partner universities will also be able to access us in country and be able to come in, visit, have exhibitions, have events, meet one-on-one with the students. So we have wider range compared to what we had before now, where intake was just primarily focused on UK destination. Now we're going to leverage on the partnerships that IDP has across all of the partner universities.
Country manager for IDP, Marie Stella, pointed out that the steady opportunities span the entire educational spectrum.
For the placement, it starts from high school, boarding school, up until senior high school level, university students who have graduated who want to go to tertiary institutions overseas, to pursue master's programs and then PhD programs. So it's from boarding school up until the PhD level.
IDP partners with more than 800 quality universities and institutions across Australia, Canada, Ireland, New Zealand, the United Kingdom and the United States. Esther Nkrumah's report read to you.
Now, it's been 13 weeks of exhilarating culinary battles in the Big Chef kitchen. Out of the 6 technical universities that started the challenge, only 3 have made it to the grand finale. Ho, Takrade and Kumasi universities are yearning to clinch the ultimate prize today.
It's the final showdown.
Big Chef Tertiary, the kitchen has no boundaries. With the finale, we are going to bring Kumasi here, and then we take Kumasi and then the cup back to Kumasi.
We are coming back bigger, stronger, and
hot. We are giving it back to back. We are collecting everything to hold.
We are going to the finals, and come on. See, thank you for your prayers, guys. We just say thank you for your prayers, guys. We love you all.
Audience have a 40% say in the grand finale by voting for your favorite institution via the short code *713 *208# and follow the prompts. Is it Takrade Technical University, Kumasi Technical University, or Ho Technical University? The battle line has been drawn. It's the final showdown.
Big Chef Tertiary, the kitchen has no boundaries.
Let's cross over now to the capital of the Volta region, where the grand final of Big Chef is going to be staged. Lois Adeyemi joins us. Hello, Lois. We have barely 2 hours until the finale. How are the preparations and mood in Ho?
All right, thank you, Beverly. The atmosphere here, everything here is immaculate. As you can see behind me, we are making sure that everything is ready. You can see the people sitting down, people are setting up. Everything here is happening very fast. The contestants are also gearing up to make sure we have a great show. So yes, tune in at 4 p.m. today to enjoy yourselves.
You have interacted with the finalists. What have you gathered from them for the final showdown?
So I spoke to the contestants individually, and they have told me that they are coming to wow us today. So they are coming to show us everything they have learned for 12 weeks. And, make sure that they go home with the 20,000 Ghana cedis cash. Because, it's always, after 12 weeks, what do? It's either you win or you go home. So they're ready for us, yes.
Lois, tell us, what's up for grabs for the schools competing?
Beverly, as I said, they are going home with a whooping 20,000 Ghana cedis. Anyone who wins today is going home with a whooping 20,000 Ghana cedis and amazing prizes by our sponsors. So, yes, that's what's up for grabs. The rest, just tune in to watch and then you see where they're going with.
Guys, before I let go of you, take us through the sponsors you have on the show.
Okay, so we want to say a very big thank you to our sponsors, Vital, Fresh Drinks, Fortune Rice, Niche Cocoa Drinks, Access Bank, Syntax Tank, and Indomie for making our 12 weeks of this competition very successful. We couldn't have done it without them. We also want to say a very big thank you to Atlas Rent-A-Car, Volta Serene Hotel, and Sky Plus Hotel for also hosting us. They are the reason why we are here, and we've been able to have a great stay. So, yes, thank you to our sponsors. We also have patrons here. We'll be speaking to them shortly.
Thank you very much, Lois, and all the best. Make a date on Joy Prime at 4 p.m. as Ho, Kumasi, and Takade universities battle it once more in the Big Chef Grand Finale. You're still watching Joy Newsroom with me, Beverly Bro. We take a quick break. We'll be back with more. Please stay with us.
We're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo paint as compared to other paint brands on the market. We take equal quantities of Flamingo paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo superior paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
Welcome back. Now, he left teaching to pursue his childhood dream of becoming a farmer, which he discovered whilst shepherding animals, and has little regret over that life-changing decision. 40-year-old Doho Smiler is the managing director of Farmer Pride and has cultivated more than 1,000 acres of cereals, tubers, and leguminous crops. There's more in this report by our correspondent, Rafiq Salah.
I'm Doho Smiler. I'm the MD for Farmer Pride. Farmer Pride is a company that is registered under the Business Act, and basically we are known for seed production, but we have also scaled up in commercial production of cereals and then legumes. So currently we are in one of the cereal fields, maize, here located in Du in the Sisala East municipality. This field, the total land area is 1,225 acres.
48-year-old Doho Sumela is a professional trained teacher who taught for 2 years before making a U-turn to pursue his childhood dream, which he discovered shepherding animals. He has no regret except for the time lost in taking that crucial life-changing decision.
I was not sent to school after birth. I was taking care of animals, but I saw that there's potential in agri, so that is where I asked that I should go to school. So after school, I went up to technical level and then said, no, let me pursue the agri course. So I went to further my education in University of Education, Winneba, where I did agri. So after pursuing the course, I came back. You know, the issue of job security is one of the issues that we, the Ghanaian youth, we always battle with. I actually came back to get back into the GES, but I went to school without study leave. So it was difficult for me. So I decided that then let me go and then pursue my vision, which is farming.
Apart from the over 1,000 acreage of the maize, millet, and soybean, cultivated. He also cultivated new variety of groundnut produced by the Savannah Agricultural Research Institute, SARI, known as Sarino 2. The Sarino 2, apart from being high yielding, it is also climate change resistant variety that can resist diseases and drought.
The whole world is talking about climate change. Indeed, we're seeing it. Usually, we used to see, as farmers, we used to track the rainfall pattern within the season, but it has changed. So to install the rain gauge, we also want to monitor and see how the rainfall pattern occurs within the fields that we produce the groundnut. So far, we are monitoring it until we harvest it. We will not be able to tell the amount of rainfall the groundnut required to become matured.
With a permanent workforce of 5 and a little over 120 casual workers, feeding them could be one of the biggest albatross hanging on the neck of the managing director of Farmer Pride. To overcome the challenge, he cultivated large acreage of rice and mounted a little over 2,500 yam mounds to feed the workers.
Early in the morning, when we get up, the first thing is to get some food to eat. Mostly a lot of the farmers complain about the light food, tea and porridge. So that has encouraged us to go into yam in the morning. The first thing, they boil the yam. We all take, if it's at least a piece, we take, and then we move into the field, waiting for lunch to be prepared. So this is it, and then it's ready. We have already harvested the first phase that we will use to feed the farmers, and then we wait for the second one, that is the yam set for the upcoming season.
His overall aim is to establish in the future a plantation farm.
Normally, when you want to establish a plantation, you get a fresh place to do. So then you have to weed inside. Already the yam field is clean, so we have transplanted, we have established mango. So when we harvest the yam, then at least we'll be able to crop here for the next 2 seasons. Then we'll crop, because the mangoes are still small, we'll crop it, and then the second, the third year, we'll leave it for the plantation to fully develop.
Close to them are other varieties of tuber crops.
Currently, we have 3 varieties of the sweet potato in the field. We have the Sarinan. In fact, the Sarinan is a variety that was named after Kofi Annan. Kofi Annan has interest in potato production. So it's like the spotted sari. They developed those varieties. So the name after the great man Kofi Annan. So we have it here.
Having access to the over 1,200 acres of farm is not a child's play or for the faint-hearted. The roads are deplorable, replete with streams, rivers, and manholes that were mistaken for an abandoned galamsey pitch. Though Sumela says failure to fix roads to the farms and market centers in the enclave is the reason for the astronomical increase in the price of farm produce.
The least we talk about it, the better, in the sense that when you were coming, you saw the big valley down there. If you have to cut any produce from this farm, or to cut fertilizer to this farm, that will be the limit. And where the valley is 2 kilometers away from this farm. So what normally happens is that if you want to cut the produce to either to town or to the municipality, normally tractors cut them across the valley, and the car will park at the other side. Then they will load the car there before the car moves. You can imagine the maximum number of bags a tractor will pick is 50. That is the 100 kilograms. So the whole day, you spend the whole day in loading only 1 car. Whereas about 4 or 5 cars can come here and load thousands and move. So clearly you see that it is building up the cost of production to the farmer. So that is why when they say farm produce are expensive at the farm gate, people will not understand.
There are several dozens of streams such as this that are dotted all over the farm. As a result of that, they are unable to have access to the farms during the rainy days. Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam, due east.
Now, Ethiopian Airlines says it is open to collaborate with government and other partners to push the aviation sector, according to Chief Commercial Officer of Ethiopian Airlines, Lema Gudeta. His outfit is looking forward to servicing other regional airports in Ghana in the coming days.
We used to get engaged with the government of Ghana on establishment of a national carrier here. We participated in the bid, and we were one of the companies shortlisted to go for further discussion. And there are issues that happened in between, but Ethiopian Airlines feels that it is our national obligation as an African to support any startup national carriers in Africa. Therefore, whenever the Ghanaian government is ready and if they believe that Ethiopian Airlines can make a difference, we will be more than happy to assist, because it's not about business or commercial venture. It is all about making Africa self-sufficient in air transport. Therefore, it is strongly our obligation, and we will be more than happy to be part of the journey that the Ghanaian government is going to do in establishing the national carrier.
And that's how we end Joy Newsroom this afternoon with me, Beverly Broom. For more news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com. Do enjoy the